Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Blissfully Bloom. I'm Victoria, your host, and this podcast was created to empower women to love themselves unconditionally, transform and heal their anxious mindsets to live a life of bliss. Now, in today's episode, I am super excited to talk about this topic. I plan on this being quite a short episode, so you can really listen to this on your way to work, on your way to the gym, but I wanted this to be a little bit of a story time episode. If you have not noticed by the title, today is the day that I have practiced breath work for 80 days straight, and I am going to tell you what has happened. What transformations occurred, how this has been so life-changing for me. So in this episode, you will learn what exactly breathwork is, where I do my practices or how I do them, what transformations occurred after the 80 days, and how I actually maintain this practice, how I was able to do this for 80 days straight. I am so excited because during this episode, I am also going to be guiding and supporting you through a breathwork session. It's going to be about 5 to 6 minutes long. I'm really going to focus on helping you cultivate a sense of relaxation, a sense of calm and peace and bliss within. So stay tuned for that. I am so excited for it. Before we dive into this episode, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. What is breathwork? For those of you who may not even know what this is or have never practiced this before, I am looking at the definition right now to give you an exact defined definition. So, breathwork is a term for various breathing practices in which the conscious control of breathing is said to influence a person's mental, emotional, or physical state. And it has a calm therapeutic effect. So what breathwork can do for you is it helps put the brakes on an acute stress response and diverts the health problems associated with chronic stress. You really have the opportunity to put your body in a really deep relaxation state. So what breathwork can do is really help improve your blood circulation. It can help energize your body, circulate the energy through your system. It can really help decrease depression and decrease those anxiety symptoms, right? There are really two different forms of breathwork. You can use it to energize, and then you can also use it to relax. There are many different breathing practices out there, but they have different effects, right? You can use them for more of relaxation and healing and restorative practices, but then you can also use them for more stimulation, more energy producing, more, getting that inspiration and motivation to flow throughout you. So breathing is very neat, right? It has the ability to be voluntary and involuntary. We have the ability to control our breaths, and that is how breath work can be a thing, right? If we didn't have the ability to control our breathing, then it wouldn't be much work to do, right? You wouldn't be able to control where you are breathing, how full your breaths are, or how fast you are breathing, right? And most of the time for the relaxation breaths and breathing practices, they're going to be more slow and controlled. And you may take more deeper and fuller breaths and at a more slower pace. But for the more energizing and stimulating, it's like what it says, it kind of matches how you breathe, right? When you're really energized, you're moving, you're going, you're doing, you're at a fast pace. That's how you're going to be breathing. Like in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. But then the more relaxing states, you might take more longer inhales and longer exhales. So in through your nose, filling your belly, then going all the way up. Maybe pausing at the top. between the two, they're going to have different effects. So during your breathwork practices, sometimes there will be moments of breath holds. And what I encourage you to do is to not force those breath holds, right? If you're not ready to hold your breath for a minute or 2 minutes even, just don't even go there, Do what is most comfortable for you. And that is what I have learned. And it's not a competition. Really just listen to your body, listen to what you need at the moment. Eventually, like if you truly want to be the one to hold your breath for a longer time, it will come with time. The more that you practice it, the more comfortable that it's going to feel. And so there's really a really good balance between doing that work, doing the breath work, and breathing in and out and filling your body with oxygen, and then also having those breath holds where there is just complete stillness, complete silence. And that is your opportunity to really start to go inward, to connect with source, connect with the universe. There are certain health conditions. If you do have these certain health conditions, it is recommended that you don't do more of the fast-paced breathing exercises, such as if you have a history of cardiovascular disease, if you have history of seizures, if you are currently pregnant. Those are some of the conditions. There are a few others, but I would just make sure to do your research and make sure that it's okay to do some of these breathing practices so that it is safe to do so. If you are brand new to breath work, there may be some breathing practices. If you're doing more of the breathing practices that are more fast paced, they are going to stimulate your sympathetic nervous system, right? But it's only temporary. They kind of train yourself to put yourself in a stressful scenario, but then you are overcoming that throughout the process, right? You basically are putting your body in a stressful scenario. And then throughout the process, you decrease, you learn to manage that stress and bring it down to a state of relaxation, to a state of calm and groundness. So that is why you see in the Wim Hof method, after people do breath work, they go and put themselves in another stressful scenario, like in an ice bath. And when you're in an ice bath, your body start to really tense up and you may shiver and your heart starts to race. That is putting your body in a stressful scenario. But if you have practiced breath work, you have already trained your body has already been through that stress, but has also managed to decrease that stress. So that is why when they put themselves in the ice baths, they're able to relax and just be, not go too much in their thinking mind, but really go inward. And that is just the beauty of it. I haven't done that yet. And another version of this is taking ice cold showers. Placing your body in those cold scenarios has been known to really have some powerful and healing effects to your nervous system. Some different experiences that you may feel are dizziness, maybe some tingling in your hands, your arms, your feet, or legs. You may feel like this pressure in your head. All of those symptoms that you may feel, they are normal. You may feel an increased mind-body connection and even an emotional purging. So you may cry, you may feel like you're really tensed up, but then all of a sudden relax. And the energy, you are literally allowing the energy to move throughout your body that may have been stuck or blocked beforehand. So just a little bit about where I do this practice. And I actually was introduced to this practice during my coaching training. And I have never in my life done this before, but the founder, Octavia, she held some breathwork sessions for us. And some of the ones that she did was new moon manifestation breathwork, trauma release breathwork. So there was different types of breathwork sessions that she invited us to. And during those sessions, I felt so alive. And it was just the most blissful state I was in. It was during those breathwork sessions that I really started to feel the shifts happening within my body. I felt different after stepping out and being done with the breathwork session. I really started to believe in my self-healing abilities. And I took that upon myself to be like, you know what? Why am I not doing this for myself continuously? It is just so magical. The amount of just release that I felt, the amount of shifts that I seen in myself occur was just incredible. So after those few sessions that she held for us, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should start doing this once a month, maybe like an hour session, going deep, 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 deep. The longer you go, I feel like the more shifts and transformations will occur. But don't get me wrong, a 5-minute session will do wonders as well. But I was like, you know what? I don't know how to go about this. At first, I was just doing some breathwork sessions on YouTube, and they were great. They were amazing, but there was only a limited number of breathwork sessions available. And I really wanted to take this practice to the next step and increase the amount of times that I was doing this for myself. So I was like, you know what? There has to be something else. There has to be another way to get more guided breathwork sessions, because at the time I was so new, I didn't feel comfortable enough yet to just do it on my own. I don't even know what drew me to this app, and this is not sponsored at all. I am just mind blown from the changes in my life that this app has created, and it is called Insight Timer. It has over 300,000 meditations, breathwork sessions. I mean, just literally all of the holistic practices that you can think of in this app, and it is absolutely free. There is like a membership that you can pay for if you want access to their monthly workshops from different teachers that are on the app. I think I had downloaded this app a while back. I had already had it on my phone and was using it to meditate here and there, but I really wasn't consistent with it at all. The first time I downloaded this app, I didn't know what breathwork was, and I was initially just using it for meditations. But then after doing those breathwork sessions, I was like, you know what? It doesn't hurt to just look up and see if there is any guided breathwork sessions on this app that I already have. And sure enough, when I typed in the little search bar breathwork, tracks came up, breathwork teachers came up. So what I really love about this app is they give you how long the breathwork session is, and then also the teacher normally gives a little description of whether or not it's like for relaxation, if it's for more energy, if it's a healing breath work. They usually title them for you to really have an idea of what this breathwork session is going to do for you. And what I've been doing is doing one breathwork session in the morning. And how I know I've been doing this for 80 days straight is because it tracks you. And every single time that you are done a session, it could be 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be 10 minutes. It could be a little bit, even just a little bit of time. It says, okay, Monday complete. And it tells you how many consecutive days you have been on the app for. And so far, every single morning after I use the restroom, that is the first thing that I do. I go straight to my bed, lay down, choose a breathwork session, and do the breathwork session. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 10 or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It's whatever I feel I need that day. And then here's the thing, and this is what most people get confused about breath work, is it's not all about the tingliness that you get. It's not all about those blissful, almost high states that you get from the breath work. What breath work is for, and its purpose, is to prepare you for meditation. And it kind of works to clear out all of the distraction thoughts, all of the fear-based stories that you're telling yourself, even healing old parts of yourself that you may be thinking about on a daily basis. It works to heal. And it also works to prepare your body, to prepare your mind and soul for a meditative state. And so right after I'm done the breath work, what I'll do is I will go and do a little meditation as well. And I can say that beforehand, OMG, it would be such a struggle to just stay in the meditation. But now I have come so far, and some days it's not always like this, but just today I had a meditation and I actually truly genuinely was in that state of flow, and I was tapped into my inner knowing and really tapped into the universe, that I was like, you know what? I would be okay if I stayed here for hours. And that was the first time where I was like, OMG, I have come so far. I mean, there are days where I get distracted. I try to see how much time I have left on the meditation, or I'm thinking about something else or what I have to do that day. But just today, I looked forward to that time. Just little bitty bits of growth there really do encourage me to continue moving forward. And one thing that does motivate me to continue with this practice, and I will get into the transformations in a wee bit, but one thing that does motivate me is seeing the consecutive days, right? I mean, I want to keep going and building that number until I see like 200 plus. I'm even a little bit more motivated now to even try to do breath work in the evening, to have a midday pause, a midday break. I mean, I really have set in stone that this has become a habit of mine, of breath work and meditation. That is ingrained. That is who I am now. That is just a part of my lifestyle. And so now that it has become something that has just happened so naturally now, I don't even have to think about it. It just happens. Now I think I can add on more breathwork sessions throughout my day and more meditations. I want to talk about what transformations occur during these breathwork sessions and even how this has been so life-changing for me. I really do believe that starting my day off in this way, starting my day off not looking at an email, not thinking about my to-do list, but actually starting my day with a pause, with grounding myself in the moment, with taking time for healing and restoring my body, I have truly shown up differently. I believe it has been one key factor that has helped me manage my anxiety. I used to be so anxious throughout my day. I would get so much heart pain. I would feel so much chest pain and heart pain and be so worried about every little thing. And I can honestly say that it has helped me manage my anxiety right then and there as I'm doing the practice, but also after the practice. I tap into my breath. I know that my breath is power. It's where my power lies when I am connected to my mind and my body and my soul. And I know that's where my power lies, and it's in the here and now where anxiety isn't present, right? Because I'm not focused on the future. And it's in the here and now where depression isn't present, right? Because depression, usually you are focused on the past. It really has been so transformative in my mental health journey. After realizing this, I am not going to be stopped. I'm going to continue with this journey because I know it's worth it. That time that I carve out throughout my morning, it is completely worth it. It's worth my time, and I deserve that time, right? It's a self-love practice. It helps me connect with myself and know that I'm exactly where I need to be, and loving where I am at with my life right now. I mean, I could definitely say, just as an example, during this 80-day span, I had a few interviews that I've done with some companies, with some tutoring companies. Most of the time, before interviews, I would literally be freaking out freaking out as in I'd be all over the place trying to distract myself, forgetting or not even realizing like what that distraction was doing, or just amplifying the anxiety, making me feel unstable, even more unstable than I already felt. I definitely had a past recent interview, and I could just tell that during that interview, there was like just a state of calm that I have never felt. It was almost as if I felt like I was going to the beach, right? Like there was no difference between me going to that interview versus me on the beach. I can choose how I respond to situations. And breathwork has really allowed me to choose love in my responses. Now, I'm not going to say that I choose love every single time. It's a journey, but more times that I can count, I have chosen love. I have chosen peace, bliss over anxiety, over fear, over doubt, over insecurity and confusion. And breathwork has really been the most healing experience in my life. I absolutely love to use this with my clients. I use this in my coaching sessions because I really do see its powerful effects, and I could see it in my clients as well. I can see those positive and healing effects in my clients after we're done. If you have not given this a thought, or even have heard of breath work, or maybe you've tried in the past but it really just didn't work out and you kind of dropped off the bandwagon and forgot about it, I really, really encourage you to give it a try again, or give it a chance if you haven't yet. You know, the insight timer, like I was telling you, it's completely free. It's kind of like a Snapchat streak, but this streak is more worthwhile, I am telling you, because you are going to feel so proud of yourself, seeing how many times you have shown up for yourself, how many times you have given healing a chance, how many times you have carved out the space, the healing and sacred space for yourself to deepen your connection, to understand yourself more, to heal your anxiety. One last thing that I will mention, and it's just like a little bitty experience that I've had while doing breath work, is sometimes I will feel a lot more connected to my higher self. I think I've told you this in the past, but I know that I'm connected with my higher self when I see myself in a field of flowers, running, feeling wild, feeling free, feeling so authentic and genuine. And this is when, especially when I feel connected with her, is when I am not all in my head anymore, but I am allowing my mind and body to connect. And when this happens, I am even more drawn and connected to my higher self. And also, I have really started to heal my inner child as well during these breathwork sessions, because I can remember during one breathwork session myself coming out of my body, but it was like my younger self, maybe 6 or 7 years old. And then I was on the ground on my yoga mat, still doing my breathwork session, but I had this vision that she was holding me and wrapping me and embracing me. And then I was holding her and wrapping her in love. Even if you don't feel the effects immediately, or if you don't see the changes right away, I'm telling you, there may be some changes and some shifts that are happening that you can't see yet, that you're not going to feel just yet. And just trust that process. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should be, and the healing is going to take time. And it's going to take you showing up for yourself again and again and again. It was just such a beautiful experience. And when that happened, when I envisioned my younger self, my child self, hugging me, I just literally started breaking down crying. And in that moment, I truly did realize that the only person that is holding myself back from healing, from living my dream life, from really taking my visions and dreams and putting them out into the universe and into reality is myself. What also happened was I began to see that I can tap into this state of being at any point. I can choose to take out my yoga mat, find some time, put on a guided breath work, or right now I think I've come to the point at this point where I can do this just without a guided breathwork session and cultivate these feelings from within. It is just such a beautiful thing, and I just challenge you to take out that app, Insight Timer, go choose your breathwork session, and I will even, in this episode, I am going to leave some Insight Timer links of my recommendations that have been truly transformative to me, truly helped me heal the past wounds, truly has decreased my levels of anxiety and stepped into my full potential. I'm going to share some links, so definitely stay tuned for those. They're going to be in the show notes. Okay, so I would love to support you all with a little breathwork session. This one's not going to be too long, maybe just a few minutes, but I thought that it would be a really good way to introduce you to breathwork if you've never done it before, or if you're far along your breathwork journey. This is still a good way to take a moment to pause and be in tune with your body. Now, if you are driving, I do not recommend doing this with your eyes closed, but if it's safe to do so, then you can do this practice with your eyes closed. So let's go ahead and get started. Find a comfortable seat of your choosing. You can either choose to sit cross-legged or lie down, but just make sure that your spine is straight. Now, let's begin. So when you feel ready, slowly start to close your eyes. And just notice where your breath is at right now. There's no need to change anything. Just notice where it's at. Are you breathing more through your chest? Or are you breathing more in your stomach area? Just take note and come to this inner acceptance for where you are at. Okay, so now we are going to start to do some full belly breathing, really activating your parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for the rest and digest, to really calm your nervous system and find that state of groundness within, the state of peace, a state of bliss. So on your next inhale, breathe in through your nose. Send the breath all the way down to your belly area, filling your belly with oxygen, allowing it to expand. And then you can bring that breath all the way up to your chest. It's a 2-part breath. And then when you feel ready, release. Again, filling your belly with oxygen, going down, sending the breath down to your belly first. And then once you have filled your belly with oxygen, go ahead and send that breath all the way to your heart space area, to your chest. Filling the chest area, making sure your ribs expand as well. A full body breath, and when you feel ready, release. And continue to do this breathing for a few more rounds. And as you do so, I invite you to think of what you are grateful for. Really allow those feelings of gratitude to wash over your entire being. And if you feel like it's okay to do so, feel free to let out a sigh as you exhale, imagining all of the tension, all of your doubts, fears, worries, limiting beliefs to be released from your body now. Okay, now gently start to bring yourself back to the room around you. You may wiggle your fingers, your toes. And now that you have prepared yourself for meditation, now could be a really good time to sit yourself down for a little meditation. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, but now that you have really calmed your nervous system, it's going to be a lot easier to sit down and relax and be in that meditative state. So I hope that you found this breathwork session really, really healing for you, really relaxing, and really supportive. And also, this is something that I actually do with a lot of my clients. And if you have been looking for a self-love and spiritual coach, I would be absolutely honored to be your guide, to be your support, and to be that support system for you. This can be something that we work with together, and I can guide you through during our coaching sessions together. And actually, I am also offering, besides my self-love coaching program, I'm also offering intuitive coaching sessions. For the intuitive coaching packages, I also offer some healing breathwork sessions, and I will tailor your breathwork healing sessions according to what you need and based off what your energy is of the moment. And I do have that like seventh sense of if somebody is feeling really sluggish or exhausted, or how their energy levels are. I'm really in tune with a lot of other people's energy levels, and I can really accommodate that to your breathwork healing sessions that I provide for you. And those will be separate from the coaching sessions, and they'll be an hour. So we're going all in. We're doing a deep healing work there, but what I just supported you all with was just the relaxation ones. But there is also ones that require a little bit more effort, right? You're going a little bit more fast paced. You have to kind of catch up with it. And those are also very transformative as well. I hope that you all learned a lot through my breathwork story and my experience with breathwork, and I hope that it inspired you to begin to start your own breathwork practice, and maybe even have it become a daily ritual for you, a part of your lifestyle. And just know that if you find that these practices are hard at first, it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to it, right? Because if you are changing your state of breath, you are changing the way that you normally breathe. And that change, there can be some resistance to that. But just know that that's normal. Eventually, when you breathe, it's going to come more natural. Your breathing, whenever you do breath work, it's going to feel like a piece of cake. And know that you've got this. You've absolutely got this. And believe in yourself and trust the process. But it is so worth it. I cannot recommend it enough, again and again and again. It's just so life-changing. I have no regrets. I would not go back. I am going to stay on this path of breathing and and see the magic of my own breath and see the magic of your own breath and what it can do for you. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye.